Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, okay, Alpha.
This has been a fun day.
Yes, you're not kidding.
I still got to bring my notes back up.
Yes. I've been stuck in a box all day, and
Lucky you.
I agree. It's very fortunate because I can sit there and draw all day, and
You're pretty much left alone.
yeah, I'm left alone to my own devices.
Hey, Artsy.
Hey, Artsy, what's up?
The newest person to whom the Cellcast is a patron of, even if we are for a free patron.
Nice.
Working on a commission.
Nice. I need to work on a few commissions that people have requested. It's just more trying to carve out time.
Check. Okay, I can hear it now.
Check.
I wasn't sure if I was hearing you or if I was hearing it through the speaker. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Speaking of, need to put the headphones on.
If nothing else, so you can hear Deedle yell at you.
Don't want to trip anything. So what kind of commission are you working on, Artsy?
Just want to make sure that Deela is working.
Mm-hmm.
Once I find where that program is. YouTube thumbnail.
Nice.
Okay, Deela, it is working.
I've never done one of those before.
In a sense,
in a sense, I have. In a sense,
because you have done it for our stuff, technically.
Yeah, technically. But I've never seen it used as a thumbnail on. Well, have I actually
the album art? The album art that's used on the podcast part of the YouTube channel is.
Oh, okay. There. Gotcha. I still got to work on. I'm working on a commission for, not really a commission, more of like I'm giving him some art for the Cellcast Presents. And then I'm working on a not a commission, more of a piece I'm doing for an auction for at our church.
I'm hoping I'll still be able to participate in that auction after today.
Hope so.
Okay, I am set back up.
Yes, the Iago one. Be like that one, and I've done one where it's
the Jesus one is the one he's doing for the church.
And I need to. I think Saturday is gonna be a very busy day for me because I got to do the Iago one. I've got to work on. I've got new markers. They came in today. They're what was that? Lula? Hold on. Lulu. Yeah, Lulu markers.
I just said a random word.
No, you're right. You're right. They're Lulu. They're Lulu markers. It's a company based out of Hawaii.
So like Honolulu.
Yeah, Honolulu, but Lulu markers. I purchased their grayscale ones a couple of years back, or I think it was like over a year ago. I purchased them and I was like, wow, these are good. And I keep seeing like high recommendations for them as art for artists, and plus Coptic are way too freaking expensive.
So if he's doing a video essay on Sonic music from the Adventure era, I'm assuming a lot of Crush 40, including a song I know very, very well. Actually, I know a lot of those songs very, very well.
I've done plenty of trips in your truck, and a lot of them are.
It does. I have changed up how those playlists come up. That stuff doesn't come up as often.
Nice.
And yeah, a lot of it is Crush 40, but that's because it's the most memorable stuff. There's a lot of other stuff. The composer, what is his name? Jun Seno. There's a lot of stuff he did on there that without Johnny, because it's only technically Crush 40 if Johnny's there. So yeah, this is a very interesting movie we're talking about tonight.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
How much longer you want to give it before we jump into this?
Maybe a couple more minutes.
All right.
I'm trying to find RT Stuff's Patreon.
Oh, well, that's what you're looking for. Patreon?
Through the sea of other patrons.
Well, I think I can just send you a link.
Well, if you do, that'd be great.
If my app will ever open.
We'll just take a bite out of it and be done with it.
No, I needed the member profile, not the creator profile. There's that thing, and oh, I was on the page already. I may not know how to share this from here. Oh, hang on. Share. There we go. To Jake. It should be heading over to your place soon.
Nice.
Oh, no problem. When I saw you got it, it's like, well, she's been a very good supporter of ours. I can throw a free patronage that direction. She really literally just got it started.
Yeah, I saw that. I see there's 2 posts.
And technically a chat room.
Oh, nice.
I never set up our chat room on
that is fair. I have my own Patreon, so I think it's like anybody, you're trying to be creative, you're trying to get, noticed in any fashion or form, you create your own Patreon. I was so blown away. I had 3 people view my Patreon. They didn't subscribe, but it was fun. It was interesting. I woke up in the morning and I was getting ready and I was just scrolling on my
phone.
Yeah, I was scrolling on my phone like you do in the morning, and it's just like notification from Patreon. And it's like, oh, okay, someone I follow on Patreons, they posted something. It's like, no, you have 3 people who looked at it. I was like, what? It's like, hold on. It's like, oh, they viewed it. Okay, at least someone viewed it.
People are aware of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if only they will give us money.
Yeah,
that's always what we want. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on Patreon.
Right. And again, we are very grateful for those who are on, part of our Patreon.
We're grateful for all our listeners.
Exactly.
Just extra grateful for our patrons.
Yeah, exactly. Those who either provide monetary, or either that's Patreon, or they're buying merchandise, or they're just simply listening to us and sharing with others.
Yeah.
Or we have one that isn't a patron. I don't think she's bought anything, but she sends me news all the time on Facebook. It's like, Heather, I thank you so much, because I would have been like, what? Yes, please, monies. Agreed.
Indeed.
That's always the prayer and the hope as an artist, that you can somehow get people to look at your stuff. Hey, Bobo.
Hey, Bobo.
Yeah, word of mouth and
Are you sour tonight, Bobo, or just regular? I'm just curious. It's hard to know if he's our Bobo or if it's sour Bobo.
Oh, I don't quite get that, but okay.
Look at his screen name.
Oh, I'm aware. Sour Bobo.
Yeah.
And then
but technically it's supposed to be that's our Bobo.
Yeah, okay.
Not that sour Bobo.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you're everyone's Bobo tonight. Well, that's awesome.
Okay, nice.
All right.
Oh, love it. There's a semi-sweet Bobo.
Toll House Bobo.
Toll House Bobo.
Dark chocolate Bobo.
White chocolate Bobo.
That's not real chocolate. Hey, Edwin Gonzalez. How are you doing? Your Dabu Dee Dabu Die?
I am blue. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Be like
yeah,
being blue is well, like you're. It's better than being purple.
yeah.
Man, there again, man. I am not, downing you. Be like you're if you're depressed or anything. I'm not. I'm just trying to make more.
I think he was just making a joke.
That
but
could be, and sometimes people I take things too literally. So
I am still trying to think of a pun for tonight.
same.
And I'm gonna have to have one fairly quick, and then I
Mhm.
won't have to worry about it again.
Exactly.
Uh,
So I didn't make something up, so I wanted to throw something at you real fast. You don't have to reply to it until the very end of the show. But
oh,
so it was a little thing. I was doing my notes while I was sitting in the box at work today, which is always fun because you're left to your own devices and you can watch TV, you can work on stuff, or like me, I'm drawing and doodling. Um, so I gave like a 3 category thing. It's like, would you A, drop it, never watch it again? B, restream it, rewatch it again, or C, collect it, purchase it via physical media or digital copy.
and this is what, a new rating
No,
system?
no,
Or
no, 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 not a new rating system. Like, would you?
I confused on what the question is.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
you say for this movie.
Yeah, for like maybe like moving forward is like if like at the end before we give our review or give our score, be like, would it be like it's kind of like what retro does in a way,
Right, but
it's a
but
different
that's also their rating.
yeah.
You're talking about having 2 ratings?
No, it's not a it's not a rating. It's not a rating per se. Let me explain.
I know what you're saying. You're saying we have our regular rating 0 through 10, and then we have whether or not we would purchase it or stream it or just never look at it again.
Exactly.
Basically, that's a rating technically. I know what you're saying. I know
Okay.
what you're saying. You're not thinking of it in that way. You're thinking,
Right.
oh, is this something I would buy again?
Yeah,
Is this something
exactly.
I'd watch again or just stream it? I don't know. I really don't know
Okay.
on how to answer that because in my mind I'm still connecting it to what
What
retro does
retro does.
and what bottom shelf does because this is all kind of that thing, that same idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, these numbers are not very objective as they are. So
Agreed.
I mean, and we do kind of say, and when we're talking
we
about
do,
whether
we
or
do.
not we'd watch it again.
I agree. There again, something I just came up with.
Yeah.
And just like it'd be kind of interesting, but we already do that in some capacity.
Yeah, I appreciate you thinking about the show.
Yeah.
So I just I don't know about, but I don't know how to answer you on that one yet.
Fair.
So why don't we go ahead and get started?
Mm-hmm.
The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast. Joining me today is a man who, well, spends too much time on internet chat rooms. Welcome, Jacob.
That is one thing I've never been accused of.
I had to think of something.
Oh yeah, of course.
There were no dogs in this episode to make a joke.
No,
at, so...
there was no four-legged canines. Why? Thank you. Let me introduce our co-host, and apparently I'm stuck in a chat room for some reason.
Hey, there's chat right there.
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, I'm not stuck in the chat.
Mm.
But let me introduce our co-host, the man who maybe got a little obsessive with a pop idol. Welcome, Drew.
Once again, that's something you can't normally blame me for.
No. True.
So yeah, our puns tonight don't even fit each other. So
No, they don't.
we're just doing a bang-up job so far.
That happens.
So yeah, tonight we are reviewing a little art. It's an anime film. It's kind of artsy.
Yeah, not artsy like in the chat, but artsy.
Right. Artful, maybe?
Artistic.
Well, I mean, they're all artistic.
Yeah, but this has got like a different
This
level.
is an
of
arty.
arty. Okay.
I don't know if arty is a good term either, but
arty the artwork.
no. Either way, we're reviewing Perfect Blue tonight.
Yes.
This is a movie that I didn't know it by name, but I've seen clips of it before,
Yes.
and I kind of knew what it was.
Mm.
I also had no idea what it was
Oh yes.
before hitting play the first time.
I was
So,
in the same boat.
so I want to just go ahead and jump into the spoiler-free thoughts.
Yes.
Certified fresh and spoiler free.
So like I said, this is actually my first viewing. And I should say that I was the one between the two of us that watched it first.
Yes.
And I was the one who found out that Amazon did not have the English dub.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very glad I found where you could get the English dub on
Yes.
Apple TV, because I'm not sure I could have followed this in the subtitled version. If we're being honest, there's a lot to process. And if
Yes.
I had to read, watch, and process it all at the same time, like you do with subtitle movies,
Mhm.
I probably would not have been able to keep up. I will say that. But yeah, I had never seen this before. I had, like I said, I had seen clips as part of like a YouTube mashup compilation
Mhm.
that I think I mentioned on this before, called AMV Hell.
Yeah, I think you have.
It's been a while since I've watched any of those, but I did watch this. This is where I knew this. Like literally, scene one, I go, "Oh, it's this movie."
Yes.
I didn't know that. So yeah, I knew nothing about the film going into it. I will tell you, this is not a kids movie in any way, shape, or
No.
form. In fact, I will just go ahead and warn you now. There is nudity, and I don't just mean a little of it.
No. Quite a bit.
I was, call me a prude all you want, but I was censoring myself so I could miss things on the screen.
You Puritan.
I'm not a Puritan.
know,
I
I'm
just
joking.
prefer. Besides, there's my family's in the chat.
That's true. So yeah, this movie has no nudity whatsoever.
I already admitted it. It
Oh, yeah.
just happened.
You're
at
not
the wrong
helping.
time. But so yeah, don't. If you don't like nudity, don't. That's a weird way to put that. If you have an issue with nudity,
Yes.
in a similar vein that I do, you might be wary of watching this film.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those films that you do not be like, it's one of those, like, if you're an art guy or like music, animation person, be like, you might want to go watch this, but just be advised.
Even as an anime fan or a animation fan, yeah, definitely go watch this.
Yeah, but be advised there
But-
is nudity and
yeah,
there's very
if you're-
explicit material.
If
in
you're
it.
just looking for like a family-friendly movie to watch,
this is not
this is
the movie.
not it.
No,
Even if there wasn't nudity, this is not it.
no.
This is a very brutal film, to say the least.
Mhm.
But it is an interesting little psychological murder story.
Just a little, but
It's not
80 stories tall.
It's not a whodunit, but I mean, there is a mystery going on, and you are trying to figure out who's behind it.
yeah, but it is.
But
kind of, yeah, I
It's
agree.
it's not a whodunit. But
In
yeah,
a way, it is, but it's
You know what I
not.
mean.
Yeah,
it's who's doing it.
Yeah.
Not who did it.
who's the boss? I don't know. They're definitely the boss.
I
in this
know that
movie.
Charles is in charge.
Charles.
In charge
Char-
of our days, and it's an old TV show.
Okay, gotcha.
You said who's the boss? That is also an old TV show.
Yes, I'm aware. A TV show
I
that I
was-
grew up watching.
I was making connections.
Ah, gotcha. And I didn't connect. I didn't understand the connection point. So there we go.
So yes, we're just doing great tonight. Uh,
Yeah. Great material for you people. And it
So yeah, it's like I said, it's a well-made film. If it is something you should watch if you're a movie guy, if you're an art or gal, just be advised if that is something you have issues with. It is there. Do with that information what you will.
yes.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, so I had heard about this movie when it was first coming out in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And I first saw it in
Boy, is this 1998?
It is definitely 1998, but it's gorgeous. So I saw an advisory for this or an advertisement for this in Wizard magazine because I collected Wizard back then because I'm an art nerd. Be like, I just want to watch everything that's got art, like comic art or whatever, anime or whatever. It was like, it's okay. This looks cool. I never watched it beforehand. And I saw some of the trailers and was like, wow, this is interesting. And forgot about it. And then this year rolled around for season 6 rolled around. And I was like, just thinking of like, okay, what's an anime movie? And I was just looking in Google. It's like Perfect Blue. Okay, perfect. And not even be like, there again, that was my mistake not doing the research beforehand.
I'm not blaming you on this
No,
one.
no,
Not
I'm-
like Ninja Scroll.
Yeah. Oh, agreed. Agreed. Minus, I knew what was going on in Ninja Scroll. I just forgot to tell you. So
Yeah.
my bad.
This one, neither one of us had any way of knowing it was coming.
No.
Because
But
why would we look at parental advisories on IMDb?
No, of course not.
Why on earth would we do that?
No.
Because I'm always trying. I don't like spoiling myself either, so that's why I
Fair.
don't do that.
fair. So I watched it on Apple TV because Drew gave me a heads up that like the Amazon Video that it was also it
It's
was a
sub only.
It was sub only.
Still don't
And-
know why.
And so I found it on Apple TV and it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch it there. And whoo, this is definitely not a family film.
It
feel
is
like it is-
rough.
It is rough. I'm talking the rough kind of film, but it'll be like it is a good, solid film. I love this film. It's so good. But it was one of those moments where I'm sitting in the living room, I'm watching a certain scene that's supposed to be in a nightclub.
Mhm. I
and-
know what scene
Yeah,
you're talking
you
about.
know what scene I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And at that moment, I'm thinking, praise the Lord, my wife is in the bathroom. Because then I have to explain this to her. And she's like, what the heck are you watching?
It's like, you know that true crime stuff you like so much? This is a fictional version of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I think like it was literally, I finished the film and she was like, I am completely lost what happened. It's like, oh, XYZ, yeah, this is what happened. It's like, oh. It's like, I didn't realize how it would go in right over her head.
Right.
Now, it'd be like if she were like sat down and actually watched it. Now, granted, she would have probably got
This,
up at some
this
point.
is one of those films that you have to watch the whole thing or
Oh,
you
yeah.
will lose context.
Yeah, because be like I had at one point where I was watching it and be like there's a certain scene that happened and then it transitions to another because this movie likes to mess with you,
Oh, yeah.
mess with your head. And I was like, wait, what? Pause, rewind, rewatch the scene. And it's like, oh, that's what happened. It's a scene transition because
Mhm.
it's making you think this. And
Yeah.
it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant film, but brilliant, but brutal.
Yes, it's
film.
very brutal for what it is.
So they're gonna be like, I had no idea what I was stepping into watching this film. So my first time watching it is like cheese and crackers. This is the what did I step into? And be like, is it on the bottom of my shoe? Be like, it's now gonna be evidence for something nefarious that's gonna happen or
Which,
did
which
happen,
is crazy when you consider
or
the
is it in
first,
my head?
when you consider the first 2 minutes of this film
Oh,
is a
yeah.
Power Rangers joke.
Yeah, it's a Power Rangers joke.
Or not
Oh my
joke,
God.
but it's like an homage. It's like, wait, what does this have to do with with what I saw on the cover of this
Mhm.
cover art of this thing? Why are the Power Rangers here or Sentai people? It's it's a
Parody of
not
Sentai.
parody, but whatever
Homage.
homage. But that was an interesting. I was like, wait, what?
Exactly.
What's going on?
You're like me can be confused. What's going on? Like this entire movie be like, if you're not like glued into what's going on, you will miss parts.
Oh yes,
And there's like the way
you got to be
the-
listening to what's going on in the background of
like
the scenes too.
audio. You gotta listen to like you gotta deep dive this thing watching it. And there's parts where it's you kind of you cock your head. It's like, what in the world's going on? And then, like a second later, it's like, oh, that's happening.
Mhm.
And then like the distorted just enough to where you think it's this, but it's actually this. Or it's like, but like, are we in this person's head? Are we in this person's head? Or
We
is
are.
it just in our own head?
Yeah, we are dangerously close to spoiling
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why I'm
so
trying not to spoil
Let's
it.
just go ahead and clear that hurdle and jump
Yes.
into our spoiler-filled section
Yes.
of this film.
Mhm.
The following is a spoiler-filled review for the film Perfect Blue. Listener discretion is advised. Perfect Blue was written and directed by Satoshi Kon, who also directed Paprika.
Oh, that
almost-
makes sense.
That explains a lot right there.
it does. Oh my gosh.
It was also written by Sadayuki Murai and is based on the book Perfect Blue: Complete Metamorphosis by Yoshikazu Takauchi. This there is a sequel book to the original
There's
one.
a sequel.
It's I don't know how it works. I just know that
How
technically
much more
this movie came out right after the sequel book came out.
Oh, okay.
So
How
just
much? How
throwing that
much
out there?
How many much more marshmallow levels of
I
fluff is
think
this
it's
movie?
got a different set of characters.
Oh, probably does.
Getting into the cast, Mima Kiguri was played by Bridget Hoffman. Of course, I'm in the English version,
Mhm.
obviously. Was played by Bridget Hoffman, who played Clarice de Cagliostro in Lupin III: The Castle of Cagliostro,
Ah,
the manga video dub.
manga video dub.
Yes,
Oh yeah, I forgot
because there's like 3 English dubs for
That's
that
right.
film.
So just a question, but like the one we reviewed
Was the newest dub.
The newest dub, that's right.
It's not. I don't think it's the same thing.
yeah.
You say that now, and now I've got to go very quickly.
Oh my.
Lupin 3 dub.
Hmm.
I think it's this because I think there's a streamlined dub, and then there's the manga dub, and then there's the dub we watched. I believe. That is the show, not the movie.
Lupin the Third.
One of the shows.
Yes, because I remember like there was certain in the trivia where they couldn't use Lupin the Third.
Yeah,
They
and
call him
that's-
Wolf
Yeah, and I think that's
or Wolf. Let's
Wolf.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf, not Wolf.
Expand films, Cagliostro.
Yes. Which is a fantastic film. We've already reviewed it, so go
Yes.
and find that wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Okay, I was wrong. That is the dub we watched.
Oh, okay. The manga, the
The manga / animes.
manga / animes.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, because in the character that she voiced, Bridget Hoffman voiced, in the in the streamlined version, the young version of the character is voiced by Barbara Goodson,
Oh,
Rita Repulsa.
yeah.
That's one of those names I will never not see now. When I that never not jump out at me.
monster grow.
All right, moving on.
Moving right along.
Rumi was played by Wendy Lee, and she was Faye Valentine in Cowboy Bebop.
Wow, I did not expect those two dynamically different approaches. Are what the frick?
Wendy Lee is one of those big
yeah,
anime
oh.
English names that she has got a lot of credits that you would not think are the same person until you really get used to hearing with her.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
And also,
I knew it was Wendy Lee when I heard her.
oh, okay, I was unaware. Now,
But this is not. She's not using her Faye Valentine voice.
That is true. Now that you say it, be like, I do hear Faye.
You
in
can hear
that.
it, but it's not the same cadence.
It's not the same. But also, I did notice there was a certain in the very beginning of the movie and throughout the entire film, I noticed a very prominent voice actor's voice.
We may get to him.
Yeah, we may get to him. May
I-
another Cowboy Bebop.
I mainly focused on major characters.
Ah, gotcha.
I didn't list everybody. It's what I usually do.
Ah,
So just because he's famous, Frank Welker doesn't always show up in the cast list.
oh, I agree. But
Unless
just
I find
the
it funny.
fact be like, this particular voice actor is probably one of my favorite voice actors.
Hang on, let me see something real quick. No, he doesn't show up there.
He has it blacked out where I can't see it, which is perfect.
Yes, because I don't want you guessing, and I want you to be a legitimate guess.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay. Tadokoro was played by Barry Stigler,
Mhm.
and he was Charles in Castle in the Sky, the Magnum dub, not the Disney dub.
Magnum dub.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This guy's name is hard to say. Me Mania,
Me Mania.
which is not his real name, that's his screen name, but that's
Yeah.
the only name they ever refer to him as in the English version.
Yes.
He was played by Robert Martin Klein, and he was Gomamon in Digimon.
Hold on. Which character did he play?
Gomamon.
I know Gobamon.
Oh, Me Mania.
Mimania.
The
Oh, the stalker. The stalker. It's like, oh, now I hear it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Gabumon!
Tejima was played by Steve Bullen,
Hmm.
and he was Jigen in the Lupin the Third Cagliostro Streamline dub.
Ah.
Tako Shibuya was played by Steve Apostolina,
Hmm.
who was the police officer in Madagascar.
Okay.
Eri Ochai was played by Leah Sargent. She was one of the other members of the Pop Idol group that
Oh,
the main character was originally in.
Yeah.
Is who this character is.
Chan.
Yeah, and she was Millie Thompson in Trigun.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, I can hear that too.
and Murano was played by Jameson Price, who played Reeve 2SD in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Ah.
Kingdom Hearts connections.
And to just fair be
Okay,
like,
go ahead and say the one.
Steve Bloom is in
Yes,
this film.
He's a lot of side characters.
He's a lot of side characters. He's kind of just a character who pops in and out of the film, but it's Steve Bloom. He's I'm forget his name. Crap. Couple of Bebop. Not Spike. No.
It's Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, Spike Spiegel. Anyways, I just
Anyway.
wanted to bring him up because even though he's a meme fan. That's all he's just
Yeah,
the
just a
biggest
fan.
Just a fan.
Kingdom Hearts connections. How many do we got?
8. It's
Yeah, the second, make sure we're back.
Yes. Yes, it happens again because the dog may come back out and be like, "Let me out of here."
God. It's bouncing. I'm going to assume we're good for now.
Okay.
Okay.
So 12.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense for this
But a
film.
lot of these are Japanese.
Oh, they're Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of these that are Japanese. So I'll start with the English. Bob Bush.
Oh,
For Kingdom Hearts. Murano.
and we lost.
You're in the box again. Hang on.
Help.
I'll let me
Help.
I'll get you out of the
Let me out.
box.
Let
Hang
me
on.
out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Chat.
Chat.
Come
There's
back.
the chat. The aliens have are attacking.
I don't know what's up with the internet, guys. I am so sorry. This is just as annoying for us as it is for y'all. So
Hey.
all right,
Yeah, we're back.
we're back. So the Japanese version. We have 7 connections. Shin Ichiro Miki, who was Taku in this, played Aladdin in Kingdom Hearts, and Charmander and Charizard, and Akira Yuki in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Okay. So they
Which
say
technic-
Char the entire time.
I should say that Charmander and Charizard are not the Japanese names of those Pokemon.
That's a
I
good
don't
word, Adam.
know the Charmander one, but I know Charizard in Japan is called Lizardon.
So we've had a Digimon reference
and some Pokemon.
and a Pokemon reference.
Well, we're about to get a big one. Rika Matsumoto, who
Okay.
was Rumi in this,
Okay.
plays Megara in Kingdom Hearts. But the interesting thing is who she actually plays in Pokemon in Japan.
Okay. Who's she playing?
She plays a character named Satoshi.
Satoshi. Okay.
You don't know who Satoshi is, do
No,
you?
I do not. I'm not a Pokemon.
Well,
fan.
in English, the character's name is none other than Ash Ketchum.
Oh, okay. I always knew it'd be like just voiced by a woman,
Yeah, and the character's name over there is Satoshi
Satoshi, instead of
Ash.
Ash, who can't win anything until like 10 years later,
20
20
but
years
still.
later. Still, bad Pokemon trainer. Just saying. Or he's more concerned about everything else.
Well, Team Rocket is a pain in the butt.
Oh, I agree. I think Team Rocket's better than Ash.
But here's one of the interesting things. Just for those who don't, this is just a little bit of extra trivia, and this does actually connect back to Smash Brothers, which is, and all know, is a Kingdom Hearts game.
oh, of course.
But you can actually, in the English version, you can actually hear one of the characters refer to Ash as Satoshi.
Really?
Yes, it's in technically a little bit of a language thing, but when Pikachu talks, he uses certain Pika. So some of the ways he says his name, you know,
Mhm.
they are specific ways he says it for specific characters.
Oh.
And every time he goes with Ash, it's Pika, because even in the English version, Pikachu is using the Japanese voice track,
Mm-hmm.
so it's always a version of Pikachu actually saying Satoshi in that cadence,
Oh, okay.
but saying Pikachu. I can't say it, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
got you.
and because Pikachu says that all the time,
Mhm.
and that is the same voice actress who plays Pikachu in Smash Brothers, you can sometimes hear that in. So it's all connected.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I hit that one thing. It's like, I gotta touch on this. When am I ever gonna come back up on this again? Unless I actually convince you to do another Pokemon movie. And even then, I don't know which one it'd be.
Right. We've done so many Digimon, so
I'll have to do something at some
Right.
point. Throw in, I don't know. What's a good
he says
one?
Pika Pie at
Pika-Pee!
Pika Pee. Okay.
So Satoshi.
Okay, that makes sense. Because there can be like, I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon.
Right.
I'm a Digimon. fan.
I will admit I didn't pick up on the fact that Pikachu's Pikachu language.
Pikachu's.
I didn't catch that those were actually, because he actually has one for Team Rocket too.
Oh, okay, that makes
Because
sense.
so when everyone else going, it's Team Rocket, Pikachu goes, Pikachu.
Dude, be like, if you gotta go, go to the bathroom, just say so, man. Come on.
Anyway, Masashi Ibara, who was Murano in the Japanese
Mhm.
version, is Lumiere in Kingdom Hearts. Yosuke Akimoto, who was Tejima in this, plays Zaldin and Dylan in Kingdom Hearts. Toro Furusawa, who was Yada in this, played Prince Philip in Kingdom Hearts. Kiroyuki Yanada played Kantoku in this and was Richter Belmont from Castlevania
Oh.
and Mii Fighter Type 11 in Kingdom Hearts and Smash Brothers.
Okay.
And Takashi Nagasoko, who was additional voices in this, is the Japanese voice of Ganondorf in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf.
Oh, okay. Ganon. The pig.
No, Ganondorf, the
Oh.
human.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The,
Yeah, I get it.
I can't think of the name of that race. Moving on.
Yeah, pig. Oink, oink.
You're going to piss off a lot of hot women. I'm just saying. Because they're not pigs.
That's not what I'm referring to.
I know you're referring to Ganon, the villain from the other games,
Yes.
which is technically the same character as Ganondorf.
Yeah.
However, Ganondorf, this is me geeking out for a minute on
You
Nintendo
think?
lore. Ganondorf is the only male born to a race of women.
Oh, okay.
So they aren't going to like it if you call them pigs.
Hey, who we calling a pig?
Miss Piggy will be the only doesn't even like it when you call her a pig.
Okay, I was acutely unaware of that. I'm not gonna apologize for that. but
Info and stuff, please, sir.
info and stuff. Okay, before I get mauled.
Oh, I
Or hey,
I don't care about. I'm not
I
going to
care if
maul
I get
you.
gored. Come on.
I'm not going to maul you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Info and stuff. Thank you. IMDb is an 8. The 8. That's all, folks. Another big joke. There we go. All right. So IMDb is a 10 out of an 8. A 10. I can't even talk right now. The pig mania is going off in my head. It's not even funny. So again, rewind again. Info and stuff. IMDb is a 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 84, and its audience score is 89. So the audience score is a little bit higher than the reviewers, the critics. That's what words they were looking for. Is critics. Anyways, let's see. It's available to watch on, as we said before, Apple TV for $3.99 for a dub. But if you just want to listen to the sub, you're a purist, go watch it on.
You said that backwards.
I did say it backwards. I did. Apple
It is
TV
Apple
is the
TV for the dub and
Yeah.
sub. You can do either there,
You can-
but
yeah.
Amazon is only sub only.
Yes, thank you. All right, so production was Madhouse Studios, distributed by
You were so close the first time.
I get so tongue tied. It's not even funny. Distributed by distributed by Rex Entertainment, or here in the States it would later be like what was that?
It's Shout Factory now. isn't it?
Yeah, Shout Factory. Yeah, Shout Factory released it. No, G Kids. I'm sorry, G Kids did.
G Kids, which is technically a separate company from Shout Factory, but all their videos go through Shout Factory.
Yes,
Either way.
yeah, nuance. Release date. Hold on. I will come back to runtime in just a minute. Release date originally was, oddly enough, here's an interesting bit of trivia. I wonder if you can figure it out. What country did this movie originally release or was originally viewed in?
Was that a film festival over here, I think, at some point?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was the first time.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, what country was it in? Give me time to figure out where find that.
Canada?
Wow. Yes, Canada.
I literally just said it's not US, but I could see this playing in Canada.
Yeah, it was at the
Probably in Vancouver.
Fantasia Film Festival in Canada. I think it was in Toronto.
Toronto.
It
That
was
would make
in
sense.
Toronto, Canada.
There is a Toronto Film Festival.
Yes, there is. It's aired in Japan in February 28th, 1998. And it premiered here in the United States in 1999. But I can't find information on that, because all I found for that was on, I think it was IMDb, because that's where I get most of my box office information. So let's see, on September 6th through the 10th in 2018, G Kids, and again for the special 25th anniversary on September 6th, 2023. I think I remember seeing something about that and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, I haven't thought about that film in years. All right, so let's go into the box office. There again, this movie had an estimated budget of 3 million yen. Its opening US and Canada on August 22nd, 1999 was $9,600. And let's see, it's domestic for here in the United States and our northern neighbors in Canada was $558,598,000, and its international was a little bit more. Now, this has been released over and over and over again, so it's probably made it's possibly made his budget back, because there again, I don't have access to it's domestic in its home country. I don't have access to that information, so take that as you will. So I'm fairly certain the movie did, make its money back, because this movie is good. Let's see, home release. The film was released on UMD by Anchor Bay Entertainment. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't see me correct you, did you?
No. No, I did not.
But for those who don't know what a UMD is, that was the file format for the optical disc format for the PlayStation Portable.
Mm-hmm. I had one of those for a hot moment.
It was meant to be the next format, and it did not.
No, it didn't. But it was cool.
Yeah.
All right. So on December 6th, 2005, it featured the film in widescreen, leaving the film kept within black bars on its PSP 16:9 screen ratio. This release also contained no special features and only the English audio track. The film was released on Blu-ray and DVD in Region B, which is what region is it?
The region B, I think, is Europe.
Okay, it's Europe. Okay.
We're region A,
Yeah, we're Region A.
but so is Japan.
True. So Region B by Anime Limited in 2016. In the United States, Perfect Blue aired on the Encore cable network, for those who remember what Encore was. And was featured on the Sci-Fi Channel on December 10th, 2007 as a part of the Annie Monday block. In Australia, Perfect Blue aired on the SBS television network on April 12th, 2008, and previously sometimes let me rephrase that. And previously sometime in mid 2007 in a singular time slot, I think there's some kind of error. Either or, it's not important. It's not important.
Okay.
The film had a theatrical re-release in the United States by G Kids on September 6th and 10th, like I said before, in 2008, with both the English dub and the subtitle screenings. G Kids, along with Shop Factory, released the film on Blu-ray in North America on March 26th, 2019. And that is all I have for info and stuff at the moment. So if you continue, where I can find something.
I will say on those Blu-ray region codes you brought up a minute ago, B is Africa, West Asia, most of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and all the dependencies of those countries.
Yes.
Whereas A is the Americas and its dependencies, Taiwan, Japan, Hong Kong, Macau, Korea, and Southeast Asia.
Gotcha.
And for more fun, region C is Central Asia, China, Mongolia, South Asia, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Moldova, and all of their dependencies.
Ah, gotcha. All right. So what I forgot to bring up was runtime. It is an 81-minute runtime. So yeah, that's
It's an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. So that is finally all I have for info and stuff.
All right, getting into the summary. Mima Kirigiri, whatever her name is, decides to leave the J-pop idol group.
I'm not the only one who has problems.
They don't say the last name that much in this movie, so forgive me.
Yeah, you're good.
She decides to leave the J-pop idol group she is a member of, Cham, to become a full-time actress.
Cham.
Many of her fans are dismayed by her change from a clean-cut image, particularly an obsessive fan known as Me Mania.
Yes.
Do what?
They're dismayed.
Yeah, dismayed.
Sorry, that just came up.
Me Mania, who begins stalking her. Following directions from a fan letter, Mima discovers a website called Mima's Room, comprising public diary entries written from her perspective, recording her daily life and private thoughts in great detail. She confides in her manager, former pop idol Rumi Hidaka, about the site, but Rumi advises her to ignore it. I will say I didn't catch that Rumi was previously a pop idol when I watched the film.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Mima lands a minor role in a television detective drama, Double Bind. However, her agent, Tadokoro, lobbies the producers of Double Bind and succeeds in securing Mima a larger part. Through her new role, requires her to film a rape scene. Despite Rumi's objections, Mima accepts the role, although filming the scene proves acutely distressing. Between the ongoing stresses of filming Double Bind, her lingering regret over leaving Cham, and the paranoia she experiences from being stalked, Mima is distressed about her double life and begins to suffer from psychosis. She especially struggles to distinguish real life from her acting pursuits and is repeatedly visited by an apparition of her former idol self who claims to be the real Mima. A string of murders is committed, all against people who have been involved in Mima's acting career in some respect. Mima finds evidence in her closet suggesting her to be the prime suspect. Her increasing mental instability makes her doubt her own memories and innocence as she vaguely recalls brutally murdering photographer Murano after he implored her to allow him to take naked photos of her. Mima manages to finish shooting Double Bind, the final scene of which reveals that her character killed and assumed the identity of her sister due to trauma-induced dissociative identity disorder. After the filming staff have left the studio, Mimania, acting on an emailed instructions from the real Mima to eliminate the imposter, corners Mima and attempts to rape and kill her, but Mima bludgeons him with a hammer and escapes. Later, Mimania is murdered by the real Mima for failing to kill Mima. Rumi finds Mima backstage and takes her to her home. Mima discovers that Rumi's bedroom is a replica of her own and realizes that Rumi is the one behind Mima's room,
Dun,
the,
dun,
s-
dun.
the serial murderers, and the doppelganger that manipulated Mimania. Displeased by Mima retiring from the idol industry, Rumi developed an alternate personality of the real Mima, now seeking to destroy and replace her in order to redeem her image. Rumi pursues Mima through the city, culminating in Mima accidentally incapacitating Rumi with a mirror shard during a struggle. Rumi stumbles into the street and path of an oncoming truck, hallucinating the headlights as stage lights. She smiles and poses instead of moving out of the way, but Mima manages to save her from being run over by the isekai truck of good fortune.
Nice.
You didn't catch what I said.
No,
Moving
I
on,
didn't. I was reading. Sorry.
I was making a joke about anime
Oh.
and how so many isekais all start with a character getting run over by a truck. You know, the isekai truck of good fortune.
Yeah, apparently.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I'm aware of what you're speaking of.
Okay. But yeah, it does save her from being run over at the last moment.
Yes.
Sometime later, Mima, now a well-known actress, visits Rumi in a mental institution. Rumi's doctor says Rumi still believes she is a pop idol most of the time. Mima says she has learned a lot from her experiences with Rumi. As Mima leaves the hospital, she overhears two nurses who recognize her but conclude that she must just be a lookalike, as the real Mima Kirigui, whatever, should have no reason to visit a mental institution. As Mima enters her car, she smiles at herself in the rearview mirror before declaring, "No, I'm the real thing." Getting into the trivia for this. The film was originally conceived as a live-action feature, but became an anime when several backers abruptly pulled out in pre-production. The choreography from Mima's group Cham is not in unison. This is intentional to keep the realism of the film.
Makes sense.
The film is based on the 1991 novel Perfect Blue: Complete Metamorphosis by Yoshikazu Takeuchi. The novel's sequel, Perfect Blue: Awakened from a Dream, was released in 1995, 2 years before the film was released. The film's original 35mm camera negative was accidentally destroyed. As a result, all copies now are sourced from lower quality prints.
That is fascinating. It's like, what?
Satoshi Kon was allowed to deviate from the original story, Perfect Blue: Complete Metamorphosis. As long as it contained an idol singer and a stalker, he could do anything else.
Okay, that's a very
That makes it a very loose adaptation.
So loosely adaptation.
And admittedly, I have not read the book. I'm probably not going to read the book,
probably not.
but that does mean this is pretty much an original story.
Yeah. It's a good story.
Yeah.
It's a very bizarre story.
When
But
Mima
good.
is taught about how to use the internet, the browser used actually is Netscape Navigator.
I remember that.
At the time of the film's production, Netscape was the most popular internet browser on the planet,
Mhm.
but gradually declined in popularity over the following years, and development for it ultimately ceased in 2008 as Netscape Navigator, because then it was released as an open source browser called Mozilla Firefox.
Yes.
Just
that makes
putting
sense.
that out there for everyone who doesn't
Oh yeah,
know.
I remember Firefox. Be like, I would use Firefox every once in a while.
The song played in the club scene at about the 31-minute mark into the movie, and in some trailers has been considered lost media for around 25 years. But in the end, it has been identified. It's called Baka ni Shinade, and it's performed by an obscure 90s Japanese band called Re-Scramble.
Re-scramble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the A in scramble being capitalized for some reason.
Oh, re-scramble.
Yeah. And that brings me to the end of the trivia.
Ah.
What is your first like for this film?
I would. Ooh, that is not good. That is weird. Yes, thank
What?
you. So for some reason, my notes I have for my likes 2, 3, but my 1 disappeared. But that is very easily rectified.
He deleted his likes, folks.
I did accidentally. Be like, I love this movie. Well, let me see. Oh my gosh. Like I wrote this afternoon while I was sitting at work. You know, when you sit in a box and you're able to do things.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, that's what I do.
Professional podcasters, folks. That's what we are.
Exactly.
I'm even worse off than you. I haven't written down my likes or dislikes.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna go off the cuff with this one because I remember vaguely when I was like, this movie is such a mind freak. Be like this movie will make you lose your freaking mind. It is so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love this film. Be like, even though be like, yeah, it's got some terrible, horrible stuff in it, but it grounds it in reality when it comes to the storytelling. And it's dealing with psychopathy,
Psychopathy.
not psychopathy. I apologize. Wrong word.
I'm about to say that's not a word I've used. I've ever heard before. You're going to tell me what that one means.
No, it's not
psychology.
No. It's more the
psychotherapy.
No, it's not
psychotic.
Let me speak, please.
Psychokinetic. Psychosis is what Artsy asks.
Yeah, psychosis. Yeah, definitely deals with psychosis. It's like, hey, let's guess what Jacob's saying.
Sacagawea? Sonic the Hedgehog? Sarah Jessica Parker?
Shut up! And Christian Love, shut up! I'm so glad I'm wearing a hat. Yes, it did break me. Thank you very much, Artsy.
In all seriousness.
Oh, yes.
Are you referring to like a psychopath?
No, it's
Okay.
like the let me get my headphones. I almost call it earphones. Headphones.
Artsy, there is a story behind that
there's
phrase.
such a story. It is so good.
You know what? We got time.
We got time. Go for it.
We're hello, patrons.
Hello.
And VOD people.
And VOD people.
4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Yes, 4 years ago. I'm driving a church van in Dallas, Texas.
My gosh.
The bad church van.
Yeah.
We are trying to cross a street by Town East Mall.
Yes.
To get into a shopping center. Because I think someone had to use the bathroom primarily.
Yes.
And it was decided, that had more interesting
Oh, are we back?
Are we back? Hang on, I've got the stream.
Stream's going.
I mean, I've got the stream on my phone, so
Yeah.
I should be able to see.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's up.
Oh, Artsy says we're back.
Hey, let me out.
You're
Let
in the
me out.
box.
Yeah,
Hang
let
on.
me out. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We were crossing a street, trying to cross the street.
Yeah.
The street had no street light.
No.
It had a stop sign, and I am stuck at this. Hang on. And I am at this intersection, and the traffic is just so nicely spaced out to where as soon as the traffic coming from the left stops coming, the
Mhm.
traffic from the right crosses.
Oh yeah.
And it's this for like a good 5-10 minutes.
Oh yeah. It was.
And and you know what it's like when you're in a church van and you're around a bunch of people who, bless their hearts, are a little loud and a little
ruckus.
love to mess with you.
Yes, agreed.
I was getting a little perturbed at the traffic.
Irritated.
And as Jacob will attest, I talk to traffic
He
when I'm
does.
driving.
He does.
I never say
Say,
anything.
stay.
Yes, all the cars that are pulling up to the street are dogs, and I tell them to stay until I pass them. I do,
Yes, you do.
because, and I even say "good boy" or "good girl" when I pass them, because I had one jump out in front of me.
yes,
I have had that happen. This is how I stay sane.
yes.
So,
Speaking of insanity,
sitting at this intersection, trying to cross, really thinking I should have turned right
probably
and just made the UE. I should have done that, but
Shoulda,
it's
woulda,
too
coulda, woulda.
late now. I'm committed. I must.
And we are ribbing him so
I
much.
must continue to go straight. And finally, it's opening up. The traffic is parting.
Yeah.
And then this goober pulls up into the turning lane and comes to a stop right in front of me. If he had stayed back, I could have popped all the way over. But no, he pulls up and stops right here and is waiting for one more car to pass, which admittedly I was waiting on that car too. And he stops there and, I go, "You strike it." I didn't say any bad words. He can attest.
Yes, he did.
But I did say, "Why, you stupid, ugly piece of bleepy, you I don't know what you think you're doing." And then I remembered I wasn't a church fan. And the conviction
Like it makes you got to you.
got to me. One, I'm driving a church van. Two, I'm a Christian on a church trip.
I love how it's be like I'm in a church fan, but also I'm a Christian. Should have been reversed.
I'm just saying, there's a lot
I
of
know,
people
I'm
in
giving
church
you a hard
vans
time.
who aren't Christians, and some of them drive.
Oh, I agree.
But as I was saying,
In Christian love.
I go you're doing this whole shtick. I don't even remember what I said. I was like, "You stupid, ugly piece of dog water, something or other." And finally, as I said, the conviction washed over me, and I just said, "In Christian love." And I cracked the whole van up by saying that.
Oh
As
my
I
gosh.
Scooted across the road
And then that
to the
became
half price books.
Oh my gosh. And then that
and I
turned
have
into
yet to live it down.
no.
As is plainly seen a couple minutes ago when my good friend Jacob said, "In Christian love, shut up."
So that word became the de facto in Christian love whatever phrase.
Or just you can say whatever you want as long as you end it with "in Christian love." Actually, I think specifically I said "in all Christian love."
Oh, no,
but,
Christian love. It got
But
shortened.
they got shortened because of
Yes.
these things always do.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh my-
Anyway,
yes. Oh my gosh.
you were trying to come up with a word and came up with psychopathic
wasn't really psychopathic,
or
but it's
something like that.
something along those goofy
What
lines.
word were you trying to say? I am now
So-
just curious.
Just more like the psychological thriller of this movie.
Okay.
It's a psychological thriller that has horror elements to it. And the way the director, the way the writers misdirect you the entire time with this movie, because you are going to be lost and confused the entire movie. Unless be like, you can pay attention. Be like, now I know that there's some people out there, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kind of a host, probably figured it out in the first 5 minutes of the film, maybe. I wasn't fortunate enough to do that. Okay, then.
Okay. When I saw Me Mania, when I saw
Okay.
that guy,
Yeah.
I thought, villain,
Yeah, exactly.
you're supposed to. And then I thought, wait, this movie's smarter than that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red herring. This guy's actually going to be like the hero that's going to save her at the very end or something. Nope. The movie caused me to second guess myself. Now, the other twist didn't see coming.
No, I didn't see that coming.
To quote a song from a video game, I didn't see it coming. Continue.
Yes. But oh my gosh, this is a master stroke when it comes to storytelling and misdirect and kind of I thought I was using this word yesterday. Oh crow. When you are being manipulated, you're being what's the word? Oh my gosh. I feel like
Gaslit?
Gaslighting. This movie gaslights you half the time what's really going on. Be like, this is really going on. Believe us, this is what's happening. And it's not. And so it's this perfect misdirects about everything. I just love this film. So yeah, I like it. Be like, it's a psychological thriller horror movie that is just perfectly done. Maybe not the most perfect film, but it's perfect. Anyways, that's my number one. What is yours?
My first like for this film is it's a good mystery.
Yes.
Because when it's starting, it's like, okay, she's got a stalker. It's obviously Me Mania, but there's a lot of evidence also at the beginning that it's also not Me Mania.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, is it somebody in the background that we're just not seeing? Is it one of those guys from the opening that were the punks that Me Mania had to fight? Because they were making a mess. Are they somehow involved with this? And then there comes psychopathy is now just a word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true. It is just a word.
It's just a word now. But there is I honestly cannot think of a better term for this. It's the psychological, like you said, the when you see her starting to see visions of her pop idol self,
her psychopathy,
her psychopathy. Yeah, it's just going to call it psychopathy.
It's psychopathy.
That okay. Merriam Oxford English Dictionary. When you go to start quoting us for the creation of the word psychopathy, the definition is I don't know. I don't have
psychokinetic.
Not psychokinetic.
Like this is not Ghostbusters.
It's the psychologicalness of a piece of entertainment. I don't know. That's not even a good definition either. Basically, the psychopathy of seeing her pop idol self and her starting to question, did I make the right move? Should I have said this? I can't go back now because of the way image works in Japan. She's past the point of no return. At least in that sense, she can't go back to being the original Mima. But and you're sitting there watching, and I think, where it got me is first when she lost the fish, because that broke her.
Yes,
because and granted, we don't know why she lost the fish, if she wasn't feeding them or if it just was time. I don't remember. It's just
the thing with the fish. The thing with the fish be like, in reality, she never lost a fish. It was actually like either her manager or the fan like actually took her fish.
The fish were dead though.
Nope, they weren't actually. Because
Yes.
you see them later. There's two
Those
fish.
aren't the same fish.
Okay,
They're
then.
meant to be similar fish, like the same, not the exact same fish.
Right. Fair.
So I don't, I don't think they were stolen necessarily.
Yeah.
But the fact that like the ones we do see in there are dead, and that breaks her because that was a source of comfort feeding her fish was.
Yes.
And yeah, she can go out and get some more fish, but that ain't how pets work. You don't
Right.
just, even if they are like fish, like
Mhm.
you care for the living creatures under your care, even if you. Granted, I don't understand the fish part of it because to me, fish are food, not friends. I would not pass whatever that is in Finding Nemo with the sharks. But I do get it. It's like that's a beloved pet. You take care of it, you do love it, and so to see those dead and her thinking that she has failed those fish, like she's failing her fans.
Mm.
That's how I interpreted it.
Okay, fair.
That's how she was seeing it. And then the minute we go back to the Mima's room, the other Mima's room, and we go, and she sees the fish. I go, wait a minute, did Rumi take her home? And did they replace the fish at some point? And that's what we're showing here. But that was my first clue. I was like, wait, something's off. And then they show the rest of the room, and it's how her room was at the beginning of the film. And it's like, oh, this is creepy. What's going
Just a
on?
little bit.
It's like, there's somebody else. There's somebody. This is where this is the I knew at that point this is where the Mima's room stuff is taking place.
Yeah.
And we see the real Mima. We're frozen, aren't we?
We are.
We are still recording at
Yeah, we're
least.
still recording. Hold on. Yep, we're frozen. But I hear you. Okay, good. At least they can hear us.
Oh yeah, there's at least that. I don't know what's up with the cameras, guys. I'm sorry.
That is weird.
This happened earlier too, but
It did. Hopefully it doesn't result in
the same thing.
the same thing, because that was a headache.
Yeah, Mima. I'm still going. Jacob is staring into our souls.
Too funny. Either or, continue.
I'm going. I think, okay, that's got to be. And we see that's like, okay, that's not. She's not actually seeing herself. She doesn't have a twin.
No.
Oh, and then we get a couple of glances at who it really is, and going, it's Rumi.
It's a Rumi.
Oh, wow. And then for the most part, we just see her as Mima, like throughout the chase after that. And I'm sitting there going, how is she actually doing this? Or obviously we're seeing a vision, but how is she jumping on doing, and Grant, that is a creepy seeing someone in a tutu, or this was actually a red dress at this point, doing what I call the Pepe Le Pew skip.
Yeah.
Chasing, and like, is she actually doing that? And then we see a couple of things in the reflection where we see, oh no, she's crazy and running. And we kind of we knew she was crazy, but she's running.
Yeah, but I think
it was so good that reveal though. That's
it
how
was
that
good.
was.
It
It's
was
like,
so good.
oh, this is so interesting. As like, is she going to escape? Is she going to get killed? I didn't know how it was going to end.
Yeah, it was left into the unknown of what was really going to happen to Mima. Mima, yeah. But like, to kind of bounce about what you just said about the Rima being the actual killer and being, is what I think the Mima.
I'm playing.
Oh, okay. Mima is seeing the delusion of herself as the pop idol anytime she looks at Rima. So there's a lot of like deep psychological issues with all these characters, and we see from, I think we do see a lot of different perspectives throughout the course of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very confusing of where is Mimi's I can't talk. Mima, thank you.
And we fully crashed again. Oh,
Nope.
It just looked like it.
All right. Is the
I haven't checked the stream yet.
the box?
That's still recording.
Okay, good.
That's not the issue yet.
Okay.
I think we lost the video. Yeah, we lost my video. Or I knew we lost my video.
Yeah.
I have to leave that on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Or we don't get audio.
Wow. Yeah. Definitely keep that on.
But I was trying to see if I could get you back on screen.
Extra.
So that's your webcam.
Yeah, but it's not showing anything.
It's like something else has it. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm gonna try something. I will be right back. Well,
Cameras aren't working.
okay. But now we're not getting audio. Oh, there goes audio.
Yeah, audio's still there.
Audio's still there. Let me try.
So the audience can still hear us, right?
Yeah, they can still hear us. But the video has decided to go kaput.
Fun.
So,
This is going to be an interesting edit.
not really. The audio part's still fine. It's just we're not going to get any real clips out of this.
No, we're not.
You
You can just do like just pure audio clips.
yeah, I could do something with that, but let me try that.
Nope.
And there goes the screen again. It's like it's trying to connect to that, but hang on. I'm sorry. I've now got a project to fix.
I'm going to take these off.
Go ahead.
So you are most welcome, patrons.
Professional podcasting.
Exactly. We lose video feed, and this.
Well, this is literally the most trouble we've had in months.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Good night.
I can't get this stupid cord to come around the leg so I can get to it.
I'm about to say, be like, do you need assistance?
I am hard-headed.
You think? Okay, you got to reconnect. Now you can just wait for it to reconnect.
One other thing I'm probably going to try here, because it's just ignoring that completely.
Yes.
Okay, be right back, folks.
See green, no black, just green. And it is not.
It is not receiving video.
But it is receiving audio.
Yes, that's not an issue for some reason.
Right.
Okay, I'll quit. I'll just nothing I can do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, for something has gone. But the good thing you can hear us. That's good.
That's the main thing.
Yes. So I don't have to keep looking at my camera the entire time.
You're the one who wants to see yourself. Okay, I should have checked. Okay, yeah, we're still good. So yeah, we've at least got that.
Yeah, we got some background.
Right. Okay. So I think we were on you.
No, we are showing you.
I
'Cause
just
I-
finished my first like.
Oh, okay, so on
So
to
your second like.
All right, give me a second. All right, so my second like on this film is the animation is drop dead gorgeous. Excuse me. Throats cough should have been. Either or, be like the animation is drop dead gorgeous, amazing, like spectacle of animation. This movie is done so well. Be like you have the like one how they do the red herring with the fanatical fan, be like how he's not handsome, he's a very ugly dude, and it gives you that brilliant misdirect. Be like, okay, he's the bad guy. Be like, yeah, well, he is a bad guy, but he's not the true villain of the movie.
He is bad guy, but not bad guy.
Yeah,
Except he is actually bad guy.
yeah, he's actually bad guy. But this movie is just so well done. From the mundane scenes to the scenes that are, oh my gosh, they went there with this film, and just wow, beautiful. Like animation lush in so many ways. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Like I could gush on how they on so much of this movie. It's so good, so good. So animation wise, just gorgeous. Be like how they use angles and everything. Just a gorgeous film. So yes, animation is just mwah, chef's kiss.
My second like for the film is I want to say psychopathy again. No, the realism of this film.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I mean, with animation, you don't normally think of realism as being like something you go for, because animation kind of does give you the ability to go kind of crazy with stuff. But there's so much of this that just seems realistic, and I'm repeating myself.
You're good.
So much of this feels so grounded that it actually makes the brutal scenes more brutal than if it was fictional.
Yeah.
Fictitious.
Yes. Fictitious.
So yeah. And it makes the psychotic scenes work so much better than they would in live action, in my opinion.
Fair.
But you can tell like this was originally intended to be a live action film. There's just that kind of thought process going into it, but it works for this one. So yeah, I appreciate it. It works in a way that you couldn't. There's some of this that you could do in live action.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it would have the same impact in live action that it does here. So
Fair.
What's your third like?
My third like would be the revelation at the very end and the misdirect the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What is reality? What is Mima's truth? What's really going on in her head, or is it is it her more of her psychological break?
Mm-hmm.
All the misdirects, all the gaslighting, and oh my gosh, I love how the twists and turns and how it's trying to pull you in 20 billion different ways.
Just putting something up there.
Nice. But this movie does an excellent job of just diverting your eye, diverting your attention to what's really going on, and pulls you in different directions here and there, and it gives in ways and just pulls you in every single different direction that just makes you think, what the frick is going on? And it confuses you and throws you into every possible direction. At the very end, it gives that reveal, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is what's really been happening. And yeah, it is a fun, amazing, not fun, but a roller coaster of a movie that keeps you guessing until the very end of the movie what's really happening. And like, even at the very end of the movie, you're not exactly sure. Is our main character, is she sane, or has she just been thinking all this up? And she's the one in the psycho ward. The psych ward. Like, it made me think that it's just like, is this what is really happening, or is Mima really okay? Is she be like, okay, this is the real me, or is this all in her head? But just a thought. And again, be like, this movie is brilliant when it comes to its direction, its twists and turns. It makes you think. It makes you question everything that's going on. It puts you into such a psychological twist.
Yeah.
It puts to use an older phrase, put your panties in a knot. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, what just happened? And by the end of the movie, be like, okay, figure it out. But at the same time, you go back and just reevaluate everything. Be like, but is that the end? Be like, at the end, to be like, oh, this is the real me. But is that the real her?
Yeah.
So it leaves you guessing the entire stinking time. And it is so freaking good. So yeah, the misdirects and everything about this movie, the big reveal at the end of like, oh, who's the big bad guy? What's her, why does she do this? Why does she do this? And it's just like, mwah, amazing. It leaves you breathless. And it's like, oh my gosh, they went there. Or it's like, okay, this is the killer. It's like, wow, amazing. So that is my final like for this film. What is yours?
I'm sorry, I had to find a way to do this. My final like for this film is the story of Mima.
Yeah.
How she's dealing with, first off, she's already having a hard enough time dealing with the pop idol, the celebrity lifestyle, where she's made this change where the image of herself that she's presenting to outsiders is different, and she does change how she sees herself, and so she is fighting that she is a lot of those visions of quote unquote the real Mima that we see throughout this film.
Yeah,
that is all in her mind. That is her questioning. It is her seeing, her second guessing whether or not this acting was a good idea, even though she thinks it is, whether or not it's going to be the right thing to do or not. Meanwhile, she's having to deal with the fact that, these murders start happening around her, and they seem to be connected to her. The director dies. The photographer gets murdered. And it's like, and she starts second guessing. It's like, well, maybe I did it, or something like me. I don't know. And that where she's questioning, is this what happened? Is this not what's going on? I don't know what's happening to me. And it's making you. It makes us question throughout the whole film: is she actually the murderer, and we are just only following the side of her that's not broken, or not broken, but I mean not the killer.
Yeah.
We're following the personality that isn't the killer. And so to get to the end and see after she has the fight with Mania
Yeah.
and go, oh, yeah, she's having these weird gaslit psychological visions. That is something that she's got to work through. But
Mhm.
that's kind of the normal work through anyone would have to go through during this. She's not the one that's going crazy. It's her old handler,
Mhm.
her old manager that's going crazy, and it's
Cuckoo
because
for Cocoa Puffs.
yeah, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as I usually say.
Yes.
And it's because she herself misses that time as being an idol and does not understand why Mima would give all of that up. And oh man, it is so good just seeing that psychological torment play out across both of these characters.
Agreed.
I kind of want to see it now a second time just to see, just to watch Rumi, because I kind of could tell something was going on with Rumi, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And now kind of like, oh, I want to watch and see the looks on her face to see when I can see the break. But yeah, that's my third and final like, is that it's just the psychological, just seeing her story and how she's having to fight basically this vision of herself that she doesn't like, even though it is who she is.
Yeah.
In a way, she's not the pop star idol anymore.
No.
But her growing out of that and into this other thing, and the conflict that raises within her, is this a good idea or not? I really do appreciate that, because that's something I think everyone has to do growing up. Maybe not to this extent,
Right.
but there does come a point when you no longer can see yourself as the football star in high school, the cheerleader in high school. Many people don't grow past who they were in high school, and in many ways, her being a pop idol was her high school, and her growing into an actress is her going into adulthood in many ways.
Yes.
In many ways. But the other, and I will say this, what little I watched of the Japanese version, with the Japanese with the subtitles of that, they actually use some terminology that from what I understand, is standard terms for Japanese pop idols, but I know it also comes up with VTubers now in English a lot. And they use the term, when she's leaving the pop group, graduating. She's graduating from the group.
Oh, okay.
Which is an interesting turn of phrase.
Okay.
Because that does mean she's leaving, and it's supposed to be giving you, like, I guess it's supposed to be like, this is a good thing, but a lot of times it just means, oh, they're going away.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I love the use of that word in the Japanese version of she's graduating, because in a way she is moving from being a high schooler to being an adult, metaphorically.
Yeah.
And now she's having to deal with adult problems, but she still thinks of herself as that high school kid.
Okay.
And she can't go back to that.
Okay.
Anyway, I may be reading too much into it. I don't know.
No,
But I love that.
I completely agree with you. The fact that you have some of us who I have met people that like older gentlemen, they'll sit in a like somewhere and drink coffee and just talk about the past and like you won't hear them really talk about what's going on in their current lives.
Yeah.
They'll reminisce about their former life, about football and high school and when they got married and the whole bit, but they don't really bring up the present.
Yeah.
They live in the past and they're stuck in the past. You have people who are obsessed with their former self, their former glory, and they want to somehow do just claw that back in any fashion or form, and it builds a psychological damage. They have such a psychological detachment from the real world that they are left in a psychotic state where they don't know what reality is and what their fantasy is or what they dream their world to be. And this is a perfect example of that. We have our main villain, our main antagonist, who is lost in her own world where she can't move. Like she has moved forward, but she really hasn't moved forward. It's like a lost love or a lost this, but like you can't move past it. And she yeah, she really hasn't moved past it. And it's a brilliant example of that. And you have Mia, not Mia,
Mima.
Mima. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. Mima is kind of dealing with that. She's second guessing herself, but you realize, but like she's working through a psychological break or like a psychological trauma of her decisions of why she's done this and why she's done that. But you find it be like she's still quasi sane because she she does have trouble with distinguishing what is reality and what is fantasy or what is the TV show and what is her real life. And because she has the interaction with the her co-host and she calls her by her stage name, not her real name. And there's like this
admittedly, just to throw this out there as a thespian, there are an actor. I mean, there is a lot of times where you might only know the person by their stage name.
That is true.
And it's easier just to call them that. But at the same time, she is still new to this acting thing.
Agreed.
And so, yeah, she knows that's not who that person is, but she's having so much, like you said, so much psychological trauma that she's having to deal with right now that she can't even really process that very well. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, agreed. Just this movie is a brilliant example of how far and how desperate people can be for, like, you have the stalker, you have Mima, you have what's her name again? I'm sorry. Rima?
Rima.
Yeah, Rima.
Something.
Yeah, Rima. Be like perfect example, like you have the stalker who's Rumi, that's it, Rumi who cannot get past her past, and she's trapped in her own past, and just it feels like that ever since she's now the agent or at least a handler of our main character, and she cannot let go of things. She is struggling with this, and she is mentally broken because she is so trapped in her own world. She's trapped in her own head.
Yeah.
At the very end of the film, be like we're led to believe that this has been something she's been struggling with her entire life ever since she left the pop idol industry. But it's a great example because you have our main character who is she's finally let go of that that almost a psychotic break. What we are led to believe, what we were led to believe that she is finally free of it, and this is 5 years later.
Yeah.
But it's such a fascinating deep dive into the psychology and mental strain of everything, like how you can be broken by situations in your life and how you cope with them. And it's truly fascinating. I'd be like, I want to watch this movie again. I'm thinking about buying the steelbook. But
your wife loves to know that.
Oh too. Yeah, absolutely. But it's like that's my kind of 2 cents on that.
I do want to say, and you will disagree with me on this, I almost guarantee it. But in terms of a psychological look at growing up, I think this film does it better than Evangelion.
Oh, that's an interesting. I think I have to, really deep dive that one because
Granted, Evangelion's doing a lot of other things at the same time.
It is,
which might be to its detriment.
Yeah.
In that sense, granted, we'll be able to explore more of that when we actually get into the rebuild films.
Yeah, this movie and Evangelion are dealing with
they're dealing with different things.
They're dealing with different things. We like how you're dealing with trauma or you're dealing with like rejection or something like that. uh, like Rumi is, and how our main character is struggling with her situation. Be like, did she make the right choice?
Mhm.
This and this, her stalker, this and this, and be like, it feels like her reality's breaking. And it's a it's a brilliant story. It's a
Mhm.
brilliant story. I would have to go back and like really deep dive, like to the compare and contrast of
Yeah.
Evangelion in this film. But overall, be like, man, this is such a hard hitting movie that I want to watch again. Seriously, want to watch again and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, like, when either you have a roommate or you're married, or like you live with your parents or whatever, like you're watching something and they come in the room, you have to explain what you're watching.
Yeah.
And for me, like watching this, you have the my going into my first dislike of how much disturbing this movie is, be like having to explain to my wife what's going on in
Mhm.
that one scene if she would have walked in, which by the grace of God she didn't, because that was the most disturbing scene. And it'd be like it's supposed to make you feel
You're
uncomfortable.
yeah, it is very successful in doing what it's trying to do,
Yeah,
which is to disturb you at what you're visually seeing,
yeah,
so that you actually can understand to a degree why
mhm,
afterwards
yeah.
Mima
What?
feels the way she does,
Yeah,
and in a sense, what caused Rumi to finally break. Because I
yeah,
think that's the scene where she broke,
yeah. I think it's, I
is
think
watching that, being
I
forced to watch what she saw as maybe a younger sister, basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that.
yeah.
But I also think that Rumi had already she already had her psychotic break, but this is she's kind of put a mask on, which a lot of people do when
I'd
you're
say
dealing
she
with
was fractured, but I wouldn't
yeah
go full break.
the I would agree with you on that like Rumi at that point be like she it broke her
Mhm.
like it did Mima,
Yeah.
but in completely different directions. The fact that like
Yeah.
Rumi was the one who set up the website, was doing the journaling.
Yeah. It was obviously she was already emotionally damaged to a degree where she was already dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
um, the Mima, thinking she was Mima because she was
Mhm.
already had set up Mima's room.
Exactly.
And she had to, it's the only way that picture could have gotten there, and it'd be an exact replica
Mhm.
of what Mima's room actually was. And that's how she's already fractured there at the beginning.
Exactly.
So just watching her other self, for lack of a better term,
Mhm.
get that happen to her, I don't. It's not that I can't talk about it. I
Yep.
don't want to talk about it,
Fair.
guys.
That is fair.
It's that thing. It's like that's a very scarring scene for anybody.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's a very disturbing scene. It's important, but I will tell you now that I've watched it once, if I ever watch this movie again, I'm fast forwarding through that scene.
Fair.
But
Fair. But there's go ahead.
yeah, when we see that, I think that is when she actually fully breaks.
Yeah,
that is the tipping point. That's when she fully shatters.
Yeah, be like that scene, and then the photographer scene. You
That
have a
doesn't
lot
help.
where,
That does not help.
No, it doesn't. But it also helps with the like Mima. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mima's the like what the lengths she's willing to go in order to become the
Mhm.
the actress she wants to be, but she's internally torn by because she doesn't want to do this. She internalizes she wants to be the pop idol, and that's why you have this delusion
Mhm.
of the pop idol. And so she's psychologically fractured in that way,
Yeah.
or she's delusional in that way.
But
And those two scenes be like they do set up, be like the fact be like she feels so like indecent and dirty because
Mhm.
of that, but she was doing it to further her career. And that just lays upon like like you said before, like after the nightclub scene, she gets home and she sees her fish dead. Now we don't know if the fish were actually dead, or were this was part of her psychological break.
it's at that point where we don't know if she's actually dealing with issues. I think the fish were actually dead.
Yeah.
And they were dead because she hadn't been taking care of them.
Yeah.
Or maybe she saw herself as not worthy of taking care of
Yeah.
them, and I don't know. I really do think the fish were dead, so that when we do see, and it makes sense when we do see them at the end,
Yeah,
that is obviously can't be the same fish,
right.
but they're look enough like it that it would make both you and her
Yeah,
go, wait a minute,
it make you take it make you do a
there's
double
something
take.
not right here.
Yeah.
And then it gets creepier as the camera basically pans out and
Exactly.
you see the rest of that room. So just so we're on the same page, you're saying your first dislike is how not how brutal, but how you have to explain not
No. Be like, where? Okay, go ahead.
it's more of a backhanded compliment. It's like it's so brutal that you don't want to that you kind of I may be misexplaining it. Continue. What if you were to synopsize into a simple sentence what that first dislike was?
It is disturbing to where it'd be like it's
The
such,
disturbingness of it is what the issue.
it's so cringy.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my gosh. Be like, you're backing away from the
Yeah.
screen as far as you can.
You don't like what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'd be
but
like,
you do like how that it works.
yeah, how the scene works as a progression in the story, how it's built into the story,
Mhm.
how it pushes the narrative forward. But at the same time, it's more like, because artistically, I'm thinking in my head, it's like, wow, this is brilliant how they're doing this. At the same time, in my own discomfort, it's more like, can I just, because I felt myself back up a little bit
Right.
on that first scene. Be like, maybe not the photographer so much, but this scene, because it's so uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Because they're gonna be like, that's the point. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable.
Right.
But even though it is a filmed scene, it's not real, but it's so like how it's shot and how everything about the scene itself makes you feel so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I would have the hardest time recommending the film to most people if you do not give them that advanced advisory about the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's be like there are portions of this film make me feel, or I'd be like, I am so disturbed by it, because I feel
Gotcha.
like the artist's intention is to make you feel so uncomfortable with the scene.
Mhm.
Be like, if you're comfortable with that scene, there's a problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that actually.
Yes, but overall, be like, yeah, be like, the movie's brilliant, but the fact how the artist and the director make you feel so uncomfortable in that scene,
Mhm.
and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, can we get away from this scene? But at the same time, this be like, oh man, this is brilliant. But like the way it's set up and what the cascading scenes after that, it's just
Mhm.
like, man, this is good. But like, man, I don't want to be in this room.
Yeah. You're glad you're not there.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not there. Good night. No.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying stuff.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, it's the scene. There's that one scene, that nightclub scene where they're shooting that scene,
Uh-huh.
and I don't want to describe the scene because it is so freaking disturbing.
There's a reason we haven't done like too much of describing that
Yes.
scene.
Yes, exactly. But it makes you feel so uncomfortable and almost dirty watching it.
Uh-huh.
So, yes. So if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. You haven't, just be like, if you're gonna watch it, just advisory, a warning ahead. Either or. So that was mine. It was, that scene in particular was so disturbing. I wanted to crawl out of my own skin. And to more of a advisory, if you watch this film and you find yourself aroused by that scene,
You
get
need
help.
some help.
You need some help. You need Jesus and you need help.
Yes. So my first dislike for
Yes.
this, I'm going to go ahead and jump on the prude train. Look, you can call me a prude. I don't care. I really have a problem with nudity in films and television.
Fair.
I understand from an artistic point of view
Mhm.
what's going on.
Yes.
I understand why I will say I will appreciate it. I appreciate it more here than I did in Oppenheimer,
Oh, okay.
and then I
Is that-
did I think in Ninja Scroll.
Okay.
Because there I don't think that here this is the closest thing I think you could get to it being tasteful.
Fair.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that there is actually such a thing as tasteful nudity.
Mm.
I don't. It's nudity is meant the human body, the naked human body. This is just my opinion. Is something that is meant to be private between two people who love each other, and maybe the doctor if you've got to get operated on.
Right.
Things like those are the only times I think that should be seen by somebody. I don't expect when I go to see any movie to see that.
Okay.
And I just this is just maybe I'm just a prude. Maybe everyone disagrees with me, and I don't. And I don't know, but I would prefer if we just didn't put nudity in films, no matter what the artistic intent is.
Fair.
Because I feel awkward.
Fair.
No matter, I was here by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt awkward seeing that.
Fair. That is fair.
I know I'm probably one of the few people who do. Maybe I'm too. You can call me too much of a Puritan. I don't care. It's just that's what he called me last night when we talked about this.
I did.
But and that's why I'm saying you can call me a prude. I don't care. I don't want, as much as I appreciate the human body and the female body as a male, I don't want to see that in a movie. That is not the reason I'm there. I want to save that kind of a moment for the appropriate time.
Fair.
And I don't like my face being pushed into it when it's not the appropriate time.
Fair.
And I know what you're saying. No one's telling you got to watch the movie. Not even Jacob's saying I have to watch the movie.
No.
But at the same time, it's like I watched the movie because it's part of the podcast, and because I actually, once I realized that it was this movie and I'd found the movie I was looking for, and I did not, because I didn't know the name of it from when I saw those clips before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's this movie. I've been kind of interested in seeing what this is because this looks kind of interesting. Only for about halfway through to go, whoa! I know why you're doing this, but there was a more tasteful way to innuendo this, I think, than just outright showing it.
Right.
And maybe, and that part, I will admit, part of it is me just believing that there's more creativity when you have that kind of a limitation on you than when you just be as crass as you want to be.
Fair.
And like I said, I get why they did it here, but at the same time, it's like, no, I'm going to be a prude about it and just say I don't like the nudity in the film.
Okay. That is completely utterly fair. I'd be like, I'm of the mind when it comes to nudity in animation or live, be like, if the artist director is doing it for a purpose in order to drive the story home with what's going on, be like, okay, be like, that's there. But I can see where it'd be like nudity for nudity's sake. I can get that.
Yeah.
I can get that. And they're gonna be like, I respect you in that all out, because be like, if you do not feel comfortable with nudity or anything like that, I have the most utmost respect for people like that. I know
I'd
people
prefer it if we didn't have sex scenes in movies too. Like I said, I guess I'm a prude, but
fair. But there again, we all have a right to our opinion, and I think be like having a healthy discussion about it, and be like, even if
I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you're wrong for appreciating it in this context.
Right.
I just don't want it.
Fair. That is fair. That is completely unfair, and I respect that. I do honestly respect that, and I've known people in the past that do not respect that, because be like, oh, you're just too much of purity, you're too much of a prude. Be like, what's wrong with you?
That has nothing to do with it. It's just I don't want to see it in this situation.
Fair. I'd be like, completely understand. Like I said before, I completely understand. I respect it. And what the point I was trying to get to, or the point I was getting to, was because I know plenty of people who would hear that, because I used to be that way. And they would just be like, oh, you're such a Puritan. Oh, you're such a prude. Be like, because you don't believe that, like, women's this and women's that's. Like, no, that's not the point. It's not the point at all. But like the fact to be like, I'm married, and sometimes I'll be like, I'm not going to say be like, I'm not uncomfortable with my own wife, but sometimes it's more, sometimes, not all the time, but there again, be like, we've only been married almost 9 months, but still getting used to that, because we did not have sex before we got married. It'd be like, it wasn't like, I know some people would jump in the bed the first night they get together, but that's not the way I was raised. and that's what my faith uh, dictates.
Yeah.
But I do have a respect for nudity in context of what's going on, and again, be like, from your perspective, I do respect that, and I honor that. I'm be like, if it's okay, there's nudity in it. Okay, let's not do that because Drew is uncomfortable with it, so let's not do it.
Just my thing. I grant from an artistic point of view, I get it. I'm not going to say don't pick a movie because you think that's got that in it.
Yeah.
It's just be aware it's on my dislike list.
Fair.
that it's there.
Fair.
I don't even hate this movie for having it. I understand why this movie has it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish we could find a way to do it without that.
Fair.
So yeah, what's your second dislike?
My second will be my third dislike also.
You're combining your second and your third.
Yeah, because I didn't have a third dislike.
Oh.
Yeah. So this if you're not paying attention, you will get lost. And it is
See, I consider that a plus.
that is true, but it was like you get so lost in the weeds with this movie. It's like, be like, if you're not paying attention to, you will get lost, and be like, again, I think it's part of the movie's strength, but oh my gosh, be like, I don't know how to describe this one. Be like, oh heck, I don't have a second one. I don't have a second one. Be like, I thought I had one. I thought I had come up with this clever idea, and once you start getting from the microphone and you start talking, but it just goes into the ether. Nothing. So I don't have a second dislike with this film.
Well, I do have one second dislike, and I will say this is a nitpick.
Okay.
The eyes in this film
Oh, really?
bug the crap out of me, and the worst case is Rumi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. That is
Some of the other ones are fine, but it's like you can tell it's all the same issue, and it's just with Rumi, it's worse than Me Mania's is bad too.
Yeah.
But that seems like it's on purpose.
Yes.
This Rumi does not seem like it's on purpose. And I'm still watching going, unless they were just trying to make her look ugly because to separate her from perhaps her idol past or from me. I can't want to say Mimi. Mima. That may be why they did it that way, but at the same time, I look at it and go, just looking at you makes my eyes hurt.
Yeah, because
I don't mean that like she's so ugly. I mean like my eyes are watering in sympathy for yours. What happened?
Because that eye separation is way too far.
Way too far, and there's a little of that in like every single character model.
Oh yeah,
for this, and I think, and that just kind of bugs me. It's just worse with hers.
Yeah,
than it is with anybody else's, because hers just almost like the eyes are going off the head. But yeah, the eyes in this eyes are one of the most important parts of a character design because that's where the soul of the character is. And which I wish a lot of modern American animators would understand instead of making all their characters look so grotesque. And usually starts with the eyes. But either way, but yeah, that's my second dislike is the eyes.
Oh yeah.
It messes with me, but yeah, I'm gonna say I really don't have a third dislike either. So why don't we just go ahead and jump into rating the film? What are you going to rate this film?
I'm giving this movie a 9 because I absolutely adore this movie. It's so well done. It is just a masterpiece when it comes to like storytelling, character, the psychology, the psychopathy, the mental breakdown of a character is just brilliant.
I swear the name of this episode is going to be Psychopathy.
Probably.
All things considered, I don't know when I'm going to get it released because of other reasons. But...
Yes. But overall, this movie's brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. It's a 9 for me. Be like there are parts of it that disturb me to my inner core, to my very soul, because that's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And it is just genius of a movie, and I want to buy this so bad. But at the same time, be like, do I really want to watch this with my wife? Not really.
it would be interesting,
Yes, it would.
but
I think I would
Either
literally
way.
I think I would literally have to explain to her. It's like, okay, there's this scene and then there's this scene.
you give her warnings
Yeah,
that
fair
this
warning.
stuff happens.
Yes. But I'd be like, she watched a little bit of it and was so baffled by it. I'd be like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on.
And she missed a lot of context.
She did miss a lot
And
of content.
granted, this movie doesn't start off telling you what it is.
Yeah.
It is very much a looks like it's going to be this tale of a
Mhm.
Japanese pop idol living a double life.
Yeah.
And it's not till nearly, I'd say, halfway through it before you actually start seeing what I think this movie is actually about. At
Yeah.
least if you've never seen it before.
Yes.
I suspect going back and watching it now, knowing what I'm looking at,
Mhm.
some of that stuff's going to pop out in the first quarter of this film
Oh yeah.
a lot more. So
Agreed.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay.
It is a great film. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't hit me it's a great artistic film. And maybe I'm just being too hard on it, quote unquote, being an artistic film, but it just feels, I don't know. There's just something that makes me think I can't rate it higher than 8.5, and I can't tell you what it is.
That is fair.
It's just a feeling thing. It's not just because you voted at 9 and I want to be, I don't want to use the same number you did.
Fair.
But it is a very good film, and you should give it a watch if you can deal with those scenes we mentioned.
Yes.
But yeah, that's going to be it for the review. Join us. Well, I'm not sure. It should be in 2 weeks, but a little of that is up in the air due to some issues here in Studio B. Hopefully it will be fixed within a week, but at least the current plan is in 2 weeks. We will be doing our first real Patreon pick of the year.
Nice.
Which is get back to it. Curious what knocked over. Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons.
Yes.
Which Edwin Gonzalez picked for us to review. So yeah, join us when we come back for that, whenever that is. We will let you know in the Twitter and the Facebook and all the other stuff when that episode is planned to be recorded.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, why don't we play some bumpers and then talk about some Batman?
Yes.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
This week, we suggest checking out Retro Rewind. Hang on. Retro Rewind. Every other week, join the Retro Rewind pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establish what is still worth your time today. And you can expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and a rotating cadre of guest hosts who are all out of time. The Cellcast would also like to thank the following patrons: Ashley and Francisco Ruiz,
Thanks,
aka the Ruiz family, aka Roy, PaulJPowers.com, and the Monster Island Film Vault. If you would like to have your name shouted out on the show, some special art from Jacob, uncut episodes, or for an additional $5, like Edwin Gonzalez, who got his patron pick in time, you can make us watch something within reason, and you can even be on the episode if you wish. You just have to give us $5 additional on top of the $5 you give us normally to be a patron. There's a $1 tier I don't mention very often that if you want to support us but don't really want any of the stuff, you can just throw us a buck and we will appreciate that. Really, we will. But yeah. Also, check us out on our Redbubble store for T-shirts and other merch. And no, well, not this week. On Tuesday nights, I am playing Kingdom Hearts and recording another podcast called The Cellcast Presents Untangling Kingdom Hearts, where I'm trying to analyze and untangle the story of Kingdom Hearts. So join me for that. So,
Shoot.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. 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 There is a song the good folks sing.
Song the good folks sing. Batman.
I should have a Batman thing back there, but I'm not going to get it.
In the great hall of the Justice League.
First off, folks, even though our cameras died, Jacob did start to do the thing with the Joker laugh like he does every week.
I did.
And that is why I threw Jacob's avatar on the screen during Ark Hamill. Just for everybody's edification.
Amusement.
I'm doing the best to keep this a live stream.
Yes.
With
my
everything
word.
falling apart on me for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, the Cape and Cowl Conspiracy.
Yes.
Production episode 31, broadcast episode 25, directed by Frank Parr and written by Elliot S. Megan. In this episode, Batman investigates the theft of bearer bonds intended for the starving people of Bilo, Croatia. One suspect is Baron Waslik Josek, a European nobleman. He confronts Josek, who tells him that Josiah Wormwood, the death trap specialist, is responsible for theft. For the theft. Josek contacts Wormwood and sets him a task to use his talents to get Batman's cape and cowl. Except it wasn't Josek.
No, it was not Josek.
Getting into the cast, Wormwood is played by Bud Cort. Josek is played by John Rhys Davies. Yes, Gimli, the dwarf.
Yes.
Gailey Heidemann played the matron, and Mark Taylor played McWhirter. This is, getting into the trivia, this is the first appearance of the Bat Signal and the first appearance of Batman leaving the Bat Signal, talking to Commissioner Gordon while Commissioner Gordon is speaking and he leaving off screen.
Mm-hmm.
We have finally had the traditional scene.
Yes.
It only took 31 episodes.
Yes.
This episode is based on the 1975 comic story from Detective Comics, Volume 1, number 450, titled The Cape and Cowl Death Trap, also by Elliot S. Magan. In pre-production, the original script was to have someone steal the cape and cowl and impersonate Batman while on a crime rampage. Wormwood says that Batman is only human after all, which is what one of the Joker's henchmen said in Tim Burton's Batman 1989 film. The moment where Batman discovers that Wormwood has escaped, causing him to emit an annoyed growl, not only does this grumble come across to many as being so awkward that it's impossible to take seriously, but with Batman only having a bandana covering his face at this point, it led to many comments online joking about him trying and failing to do his best pirate impression. The Dread Pirate Batman. Moving on. Batman's tactic of disguising himself to trap his enemies and get information from them is later used in, well, that's a spoiler alert,
Yes.
so I'm not going to say that, but let's just say Killer Croc. We'll get
hit him with a rock.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this episode?
Oh my gosh. not in the same vein as our main review, but it does give a little more of a psychological misdirect what's going on, what's really going the fact that the dealer himself was no longer in the picture and it was just
Mhm.
Batman manipulating the negotiator, not negotiator, what's his name,
Middleman.
middleman,
Yeah.
no, the villain of the week,
Wormwood.
Wormwood. Yeah, Wormwood.
Which, for those who don't know, is actually a C.S. Lewis. It comes from C.S. Lewis's book, The Screw Tape Letters.
Oh, okay.
Wormwood was the name of the demon writing to Screw Tape.
Yes. So, my gosh, like the way Batman is manipulating Wormwood the entire time, it's just like, because like you're convinced that Batman would be like he's over his ears, he's over his pointy ears with this one, but he's not. Be like he knows what's happening because he knows where everything's gonna happen because he
planned it.
He planned it, and it's a brilliant episode. There again, we get the first Batman signal. We get kind of this more like Commissioner Gordon and Batman. They are friends, they're colleagues. They do work together very well, and I just enjoyed this episode. It's really, really good. It's amazing.
This is another one of those episodes that I remember from when I watched it as a kid. And it's mostly that scene where the guy has Batman throw the cape and cowl, or puts it on the thing, and he steps into the light and he's got the bandana on, and it's like a second mask. And I remember thinking, dude, that's so brilliant. Why didn't I think of a second mask? But I remember even when I was watching it as a kid thinking, oh no, Bruce's secret identity is about to be found out. That's not good. And it's like, oh, that is brilliant as a kid. And I'm sitting there going, dude, that's going to get hot, Batman. Granted, he doesn't always wear two masks.
No, it doesn't.
But as a kid, I wasn't even thinking of that because I didn't even make the connection. I don't even remember that the John Rhys Davies character, I can't think of the guy's name, Josek. I didn't even think about remember him being Bruce. Remember him being Batman. I just remember that scene where he steps into the light and he's wearing another mask going, oh, that's brilliant. But I do have to say, I love that scene at the end during the reveal when Wormwood says finally, you know my price. What do you want the cape and cowl for? And he says, what are you going to do with them? He says, I'm going to wear them. And he turns around and he's Batman. It's like, oh, that is so cool.
Just brilliant.
And
absolutely. 100%.
And now after the fact, I think while that was so cool and brilliantly done, I'm sitting there going, we saw him in his regular costume a second ago. How did he turn all? Because he's not wearing the cape and cowl Wormwood just gave him. He's wearing another cape and cowl.
Of course.
So
he's Batman.
How did you do that all in the dark and no one saw you? That's going to take some time, Bruce. You're not Superman who can do it in the blink of an eye.
Well, the fact that he took the cowl, which Wormwood gave him, and just put it on.
He didn't do that though. He was wearing a second one.
Okay, fair enough.
Because he threw the cape and cowl back at Wormwood.
That's right, he did.
So I'm still saying, where were you hiding all that, Bruce? It would have been in a way cooler if you had just put that cape and cowl on and then stood up. So it was like, oh yeah, I'm Batman. You thought I was the other dude, but I'm Batman. It's like, I don't know. I at the same time, in the moment, I don't care. This is done so good. It does kind of start off a little sloppily when he calls the other dude in, because I remember thinking, weren't you just told to go disappear, dude? Didn't Batman tell you to take a very long European vacation?
Yes.
And now you're doing this and you want to know where the bail bonds are? I don't know, but yeah, this is still such a good little episode, and
Agreed.
it's a fun one to come back to. And speaking of fun episodes to come back to,
Oh yes, very much so.
The Laughing Fish. Production episode number 34 and broadcast episode 46.
Yes.
You will note we jumped 2 episodes. Those will be done in our next episode. We had a 2-parter hit us in the middle. This episode was directed by Bruce Timm and written by Paul Dini. In this episode, Joker unleashes a toxin into Gotham City's harbors, causing all the fish affected to mutate into Joker fish, with a deformed smile clearly resembling his own. The Clown Prince of Crime's plan is far more bizarre, and he soon reveals to the world his desire to copyright the fish and thus gain a percentage over all sold fish in the Gotham area.
You can't copyright a fish.
So the new cast for this episode actually includes a lot of old cast members because they're playing more people.
Yes.
Robert Costanza, who normally plays Harvey Bullock, also in this plays Rocco and Fisherman Number 1. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., who normally just plays Alfred, also plays a cop. George Zunza plays G. Carl Franks and Thomas Jackson and Fisherman Number 2. And Mark Hamill, along with playing the Joker, plays the Stevedore.
The Steve Door.
That's apparently that's how it's credited. I was
Okay.
confused by it at first too, because like, what's the Stevedore? Apparently, it's a dockman of some kind.
Oh, okay.
It's a name for a dockman. I will say that the Batman animated series wiki has one entry for Stevedore, and it's this guy. So I don't know. I didn't Google too much about it because it's like, okay, the Stevedore, whatever. But yeah. Trivia for this episode. The box the Joker grabs a wrench from says Binford Tools, which is the name of the fictional tool company sponsoring the show Tool Time
Oh my gosh.
on the Tim Allen sitcom Home Improvement.
I didn't even realize that. That is just wow.
This is the first time Harley Quinn refers to the Joker as her puddin'.
Yes.
It is revealed that Bullock knows of the existence of the Bat computer, but how he learned of it is exactly unrevealed. It is possible, however, that he might just have been referring to a computer used by Batman as a Bat computer, akin to Batman 1966 television series' habit of everything having a Bat prefix. This episode is an adaptation of 2 major Joker stories from the comics. The episode is primarily an adaptation of Detective Comics Volume 1, number 475, The Laughing Fish, and Detective Comics Volume 1, number 476, The Sign of the Joker by Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers. It is also a loose adaptation of the 3rd act of the story from Batman Volume 1, number 251, titled The Joker's 5-Way Revenge by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. Hamill considers this episode a terrific adaptation of a comic storyline that sees the Joker at his goofiest.
Agreed.
This is one of the 4 episodes with no actual title card, the other being Heart of Ice from 1992, and The Demon's Quest Part 1 and The Demon's Quest Part 2 from 1993. While trying to cheer up Harley Quinn, Joker says that she can be his Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Mark Hamill previously had a small voice role as a sailor in the opening scene of Disney's The Little Mermaid in 1989, using a voice similar to that of Solomon Grundy. In the film, Hamill technically co-stars with fellow DC Animated Universe voice actors Jodie Benson, Kenneth Mars, Patty Edwards, Eddie McClurg, Renee Auberjonois, Hamilton Camp, Kimmy Robertson, and Frank Welker. Joker's mention of Colonel What's-His-Name is, of course, a reference to Harlan Sanders, also known as Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Later in the episode, he mentions another plan that would create a Happy Meal, referring to the children's meal package from McDonald's. Batman the Animated Series would get its own Happy Meal toy line from McDonald's later that same year in 1993. The year it aired.
Just genius.
So, this is not the when I first saw this episode, it was not the episode I was thinking it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
Because there's another episode, and it may actually be from like after the artwork change.
Yeah.
Where I remember it was a Harley specific episode who was trying to make Joker happy by getting one of his old jokes to work that he didn't think worked, and that was a smiling piranha.
Yeah.
And her method of doing it was turning the victim upside down so it would look like the piranha was smiling, because that was the problem. The piranha didn't smile. And that's what I thought this was going to be when I saw The Laughing Fish.
Yeah.
As the title of this episode. And that's not what this is about.
No.
That's a different episode. We will probably get to that at a later date.
Yes.
But this is such a fun little episode.
Mhm.
Granted, my first thought is this had to have come out of Batman 66. This is not Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is
Right.
definitely not how the Joker is treated after that point.
No.
This is very much Caesar Romero. This is not Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, agreed. But there,
But it's so
there-
much fun for it.
But there are aspects of it where he walks into the lawyer's office.
Yeah.
Where he's wearing Jack Napier from Batman 89.
I agree with that. But I mean, in terms of the plot,
Oh yeah.
I have released a toxin into the town's water supply that makes all the fish turn into the very likeness of me. And I do this not to poison anybody, but so that I can copyright the fish and make money off of it. Man, that sounds like a Batman 66 plot.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so funny. It's so
Yes.
much fun to watch. And the whole deal with him doing the laughing using his Joker toxin on all these dudes,
Mm-hmm.
including at one point me thinking, oh, he got Batman 80 years early, and then finding out it was the other guy.
Oh yeah,
but
it's genius.
it's like,
Agreed.
oh man, I don't know, this is a fun episode. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on this movie is
episode.
Sorry, I'm still stuck in the movie. That is a weird place to be stuck in.
Yes,
But
like in a chat room.
yes, chat room.
Bringing it around, folks. Bringing it around.
Avatar, please. But
It's working on it.
that is a good Avatar, by the way.
Of course you like it. You drew it.
Of course.
I couldn't find the one you drew of me separate. That's why I had to go with the one Rushmore made.
Either or.
I was in a hurry.
Yeah, fair. This has been an interesting episode, people. Let's just say that.
Yes.
But this is a fun episode. You get more of this wacky, crazy Joker who thinks he can get a copyright on fish because they have his likeness because he poisoned them. The fact that like Harvey Bullock in the middle of this thing is be like he gets fed up what's going on, be like, I'm gonna go find this guy, and he knows exactly where Joker is, and Batman just shows up and just like the fact that they get stuck in the tank and Batman rides the shark around and it's just such a campy, corny, but good episode. I absolutely love this episode. Can you copyright?
I'm Googling something because there's a thought that crossed my mind. And I'm going to have to use the AI overview thing because it's faster at the moment.
Yes.
It says, yes, you cannot copyright a fish itself, but you can copyright artistic representation of a fish, such as a painting, photograph, or illustration, or the unique color configurations of a genetically modified fish. I think that counts. The Joker should have been able to copyright those fish. He genetically manipulated them.
Fair.
Justice for the Joker. No, I'm kidding. I don't care.
But I'm about to say, be like, that's must be room for Batman here.
I know, but it was just like I looking at it
I
going,
agree.
because literally my first thought was, what about all those potato farmers who got in trouble because their potatoes accidentally got pollinated from the potato farm where I think it was Doritos or one of the big chip manufacturers were having their potatoes grown, and it
Yes.
caused issues. It's like, wasn't that a thing? Monsanto, isn't that the name of the company that
No
does all
idea.
that crap? That's gotta, the fish can't be that much different. I don't know. This is just a fun episode. It's goofy. even if there is a possibility that the Joker probably could have copywritten the fish. I don't care. This is such a goofy concept, and the way it's had. This is the funniest Joker has been so far. Because every other time there's that edge of creepiness. And don't get me wrong, the creepiness is here too, but
yeah,
it's very much like more of a modern Joker than just the goofy one. Like the closest we got to the goofy one before this point was the one where they were driving the garbage scow with the toxin through town and causing everyone to go start laughing.
the river.
And we get that great line, "You killed Captain Clown." That's the goofiest episode besides this one.
Yeah,
up until
agreed.
this point.
Agreed.
And so to have just a goofy Joker episode with Harley on top of it, which Adrienne Barbeau has found her Harley character by this point. She is already there. I'm waiting for a great line that I know comes later on when the joke on one of the other times the Joker quote unquote dies. But yeah. And I didn't switch back to my avatar.
No, you did not.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. On the next one though, when we do come back with Batman Battle of the Super Sons, this was not planned.
Oh.
But Robin's Reckoning, parts 1 and 2.
Oh, the
Robin origin story on the same episode as Batman and Superman's sons fight each other, which he is Batman's son is, well, if you could say all 4 of Batman's sons are Robin.
Yes.
Even though 3 of them are adopted.
Biological son.
His biological son is too. But I don't know anything about this Battle of the Super Sons, so I will find out when we get there. But thank y'all for joining us this evening. We will catch y'all in the next one, but in the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
To follow Jacob and Drew's individual internet exploits, check out the Linktree links in the show notes.
They will come eventually.
You can email us
Yes.
at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter or X at @cast_cell. Follow our Facebook page, The Cellcast Podcast, and join our Facebook group, The Cell Nation, our YouTube channel, Cellcast, and our Rumble channel, The Cellcast Gaming. You can join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central for our live recordings of our episodes on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. You can also join Drew on those same streaming channels on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central for gaming streams. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts can be downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. Our bad movie theme is It's Party Time by Gregory Snegoff, with additional audio from the film Titanic: The Legend Goes On, and remember that cell with a single L.
What else was I supposed to do? Will the real Pop Idol please stand up?
No, wait. She's the imposter. Get her.
I guess that's the end of the episode, guys.
I guess.
And guys, I am so sorry about our cameras dying.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that boils me up the most about that going on is the fact that my camera right here still has the blue status lights on, saying it's on, and yet I can't get it to actually show anything. So I don't know what's going on, folks.
And to just like ever since we don't have cameras right now, but it was the funniest thing in the world. So during the closing, Drew is like waving in front of the cameras, and all I say is be like, "What are you trying to do? A Jedi mind trick on the thing?"
No, that's not what I was doing. I was doing. You had your headphones on,
I did.
so you didn't hear Titanic. The legend goes on.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
That's what I was doing. Because I do that every time.
He
because
does.
That's what you. That's for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Every time we say Titanic, the legend goes on, whether we are in public, on camera, or apparently waving madly at the camera. Use your imagination, folks. I look funky right now.
That's why I want to draw an avatar of that. It gives me hilarious.
Well, in a way, the way you kind of drew me on this thing
Yeah.
I've got up here right now, it kind of looks like I'm finishing that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This has been such a interesting but nerve-wracking episode.
I have no idea what's causing either this or the internet issues, but I would like to point out once the cameras died, the internet issues went away.
Exactly.
So what the crap?
Oh my gosh. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking with us through our internet issues. And yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks
With any luck,
with any like
assuming everything goes like we would like it to.
Yes. Because
There's
apparently-
issues at Studio B. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there's issues with Studio B, so we will keep people updated on that. Or what,
But if the Studio B issues continue, it may push back an episode. We may have to delete another one off of our itinerary, which we will discuss later if that ends up being the case.
Exactly.
Hopefully not, because already next week's episode being on, we had already worked that out because I'm actually going to be somewhere. So
Yes. So we should see you in 2 weeks, prayerfully.
yes,
And we're doing
Batman
the
and
Super Sons
Superman:
movie.
Rise of the Super Sons. I know nothing about it other than Edwin Gonzalez requested it,
Ah, gotcha.
and he has sent me a lot of notes
Ah.
to read, so I will do so.
Oh, Babo, thank you so much.
Yes, Babo.
Yeah, Babo, thank you so much. Be like
Yes.
that artwork is.
That artwork's from February.
Yeah, that artwork's from February.
It
And
was
the-
easy to get up in a hurry.
Yeah, that was done in Procreate. So that took me, oh my gosh, probably like a week and a half to get done because there was just so
Mhm.
much work on it. But that was absolutely just a blast and a half to work on. So yeah, it's what my art kind of looks like in digital.
Anyway, we will see y'all guys later. We're going to raid Book of Gaming. Go say hi to Char Char.
Char Char.
I called him that the other night when I joined his stream. Not after what's it called? Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But I randomly joined it on Wednesday. And it's like, hey, Char Char. So that's the thing. Anyway, go say hi to Char Char.